thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I know it's been, a busy time for you. You just came off of the election win. How are you feeling?
It's a lot of emotions, but feel really excited and humbled and honored to be able to, win the seat, to keep it blue, to go to the Capitol, and to learn and to work with my fellow DFLers to be able to, get to the legislation that we need to try to pass maybe this year and heading into next year.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about um I guess it's you've evened up the score. I mean, it was even before, but speaking in that regard, this election is it's not typical. It has a little bit of a dark cloud over it. Given that it was following the murder of Melissa Hortman, what were your thoughts, going into this election, stepping up to the role and, following her win, how it feels to fill in her absence?
Definitely some unfortunately dark and chaotic times we're living in right now, and it was a devastating loss, not just for the community but for the state. And um, part of why I ran was that I couldn't think of a better way to honor her legacy than to win and to go to the Capitol to continue the work that she fought so hard to achieve in recent years, and then to expand and to gain wins in the coming years. So that's what that's what I want to do. And now that I'm able to do that, and I won, and I have the opportunity to work with my fellow DFLers at the Capitol. Again, I feel humbled, appreciative. I have so much gratitude and appreciation for all my donors and supporters and volunteers and campaign team, and everyone who came out and did a little, whether it's um, phone banking or texting or door knocking or just sharing some of my posts on social media, to support me. It really took everyone doing everything that they could to help me. And now I'm going to the Capitol, and there's so much to learn, but I feel excited to be able to help continue the work that Melissa led.
Yeah, and you too, I know you mentioned at least online you referred to her as like a mentor and as a neighbor. Did you two had a relationship?
We got to know each other when my wife and I first moved into the neighborhood. Really, we knew she lived here, so we were aware of her as the speaker. And then we met, you know, every now and then when she was out walking her dog, Gilbert. And when I decided to run for city council, I called her up and we had some phone conversations. So I got to know her a little bit more that way. We met a couple of times too. Just talking about politics and campaigning. And then when I decided to step off of the council, we had a really good conversation just about, um, yeah, the future of the community, and just touching base um, uh, politics and community conversations. So I got to know her well that way. Not, we didn't really talk a lot about like politics and things happening at the Capitol, but of course, I kept up on what was happening there through just news and other sources. But yeah, we got to know each other well, and she was super supportive of my first run, and I'm sure she would have been super supportive of this run had it been under normal circumstances of me running for her seat.
Yeah. You talked about you mentioned discussing like changes in the community and now, with her murder with, just the increasing violence, the shooting at the Catholic school, there's been a lot going on. What has been, the discussion between, your family, your, political colleagues? What's going on in that regard?
Well, yeah, my family and friends were, definitely a little hesitant and just asking me, "Are you sure you want to jump into this?" But I told them, "Yeah, these are the moments in which you have to try to rise to meet them, and not let the fear or the chaos um, take over, so you can be a source of hope and action, and I've always had a calm demeanor, and I'm a very relational leader. So I try to, really make connections on a very personal level, getting to know folks, and that has um, a very soothing effect. So that's the kind of um, quality I'd like to bring with me to the Capitol to really network. And then of course there's legislation around gun safety, gun sense, public safety, mental wellness. There's a lot to learn, but I definitely want to go in to the Capitol and to have those conversations again with not just the DFL caucus, but also with the Republicans, to learn and then to try to move the needle on these issues.
Do you feel like, with your soothing presence and, going into this really high stress time, do you feel like de-escalation is kind of a part of your role now?
I do, I do. There's Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot going on, and I feel like I have a great opportunity to, while I'm learning, make really great connections, and then continue to connect folks with each other as well. I'd love to build bridges, and then hopefully through those connections, folks can find synergies within policy making or just relationships. Yeah, even if certain policies may not move forward, hopefully relationships can, and that's really what helps to grease the wheel of the system, if you will. And yeah, there's I've said it in my campaign that part of this is to heal our community, to bring folks together around the death of Speaker Hortman. And so I do feel a sense of responsibility to de-escalate and to make connections and to help heal, as I head into the Capitol.
I feel like that's, I don't know how much you've communicated from like both sides or on the other side of the aisle, but do you feel like that's a similar message coming from your colleagues, your Republican, more conservative colleagues?
I haven't spoken with many of the Republican legislators. I, you know, My opponent and I, we were able to keep things really um, um, calm, uh, and didn't, like do anything like dirty or, outlandish. So that was great. She ran a really solid campaign. The only other person I was able to just have a brief connection with was Representative Danny Nadeau, who is represents the other half of my Senate district, 34A, and we met at the grand opening of our brand new Mississippi Gateway Park in Brooklyn Park. This was a great partnership at all levels, and is a great amenity, not just for Brooklyn Park, but for the whole area, right? It was in partnership with Three Rivers District, which was a great partner who led the work and was able to get that across the finish line. So, I mean, again, just looking at that as an example of where hopefully we can use as a stepping stone towards working together on other projects, right? Not just the environment, but infrastructure, public safety, education, healthcare. I hope to be able to replicate or to jump in and replicate that success in other areas.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we have a limited amount of time. You're a busy guy right now. Is there anything else, we haven't talked about that you're like, oh, you want to talk about now?
Yeah, I think because it was a special election, it was such a short timeline. Didn't really get a chance to really fully like get out into community, right? So now that I have to turn around and run again heading into 2026, I really want to be able to do that. I really want to be able to get out. And of course, I'm very familiar with Brooklyn Park, but get to know the other cities, Champlin and Coon Rapids, a lot better. So looking forward to that, meeting more residents and having more town halls or meet and greets in those cities to be able to get to know folks and catch up on their feelings about what they're dealing with in their cities. And yeah, I think that will just continue to help me to gather more insights and represent my district a lot more. And again, I won because our campaign really focused on having on the ground conversations, and that's what I hope to continue to do with all residents of 34B and with Minnesotans in general.
Yeah. XP, thank you so much again for taking the time to speak with me. I hope that you're able to bring a nice soothing presence, in with your work. I don't have anything else, and I guess I'm out of time. You have a lot of things to do today.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, look forward to maybe talking more as we move into the sessions and next year. So thank you so much.
That sounds great.